Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my lovelies, my beauties, my royal tea? Yeah, we're gonna get into some hot tea today. Going back into the boys will be boys and tying that into politics and the patriarchy and feminism and dating nightmares and yeah, it's like if some people are like, "Oh, that's too complex. I don't want to listen." And oh, she like, yeah, I'll get over it. Like, I hope you find a channel that's more of a fitting. But yeah, this is kind of yeah. I while I write my stories, create my characters, and pick out parts of my life to insert into the stories. Sometimes talking it out helps, and with a lot of the things going on within Congress right now and the Epstein paper and the fact that Republicans, MAGA, is a lot of them still don't care. A lot of these people still call this man a genius when he threatened the college that they better not show his transcripts. And then even with his taxes, he won't show that. And people are like, oh, well, like when they talk about his bankruptcies, oh, well, he kept trying and he did this. Like, but then at the same time, mm, some of it he got a lot of tax benefits, and some of the years he paid less in taxes than majority, like, just, mm, he paid less in taxes than some people make in a day or even just a couple hours, or like if they started at 9 o'clock, by the time their lunch period is their lunch break, that's all he had to pay. Yeah, but gonna show some videos and like show some receipts with articles and stuff like that because I've told so many stories about the nightmare dates I've been on and the terrible, awful men I've either dated, met, or that's written me. And oh, before I forget, make sure you guys check out the Patreon. I have so many pieces of receipts and evidence. Again, yeah. I over the time of my life, the decades and things that I've lived, I have realized no one's going to believe me. With a lot of the things that I've been through in my life, people did not believe me. So, at after a specific date that happened few years ago, and then right after I broke up with my ex and got on dating apps, and then I saw the horrific, awful, terrible treatment that I got, especially being a black female with a disability. But then sometimes when people are like, why are you single? Why aren't you married? Why don't you have a kid? Like, I try to tell them and explain, but then they don't believe me. And especially black men. Black men are like, oh, well, it's your fault then. Oh, it's because you have an education where you were stupid enough to get the education. Or instead of making kids, it's like you should have been focusing on having kids and like making sure he was okay and he was happy, he was joyful. And I'm like, okay, so how? So I am only supposed to care about his happiness? Because a lot of men, they only care about the woman making them happy. And I think that's maybe one reason why they have that one saying, like, happy wife, happy life. Maybe it's because so many men only targeted their happiness. And at the end of the day, like the wife kept pouring into their glass, and then when she was empty, both of their lives ended up empty. She gave everything, anything and everything she could. And year after year, everyone told her, like, that's being a good wife. That's being a good woman. That's being a good, like, female. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your obligation. It's like he works hard for you. He brings home the money. It's like he, like, does A, B, and C. So maybe you can go on vacations or take care of the kids and, like, have different, like, even get your hair or nails done or get jewelry and, or flowers or whatever it is. But then some forget women have emotions, women have things they want to say and express. When some women are like they have hobbies they want to try. Sometimes they don't want to be at home with the kids all day every day. Some women even want to turn those hobbies or interests into jobs, careers. Some want to express themselves in either a scientific or creative or mathematical or like even historic type of way. But so many people want women to focus on just pouring into the guy. But then when the guy gets home, instead of checking in on her, seeing if she's okay, seeing if she maybe, she can go for a shower, or instead of cooking tonight, maybe ordering like her, maybe even like once in a while her favorite food, or oh, like one of the kids has soccer practice. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll take the kids to, I'll take care of that. You know? And even knowing the doctors' names, the teachers' names, and because I've said this in previous episodes, but while teaching, well, K through 12, especially the K through 8 school I was at, quite a few times the fathers didn't know the teachers' names. That happened so often, and I was just shocked, like, because I remember, like, when I started teaching classes on my own, and I wasn't like the substitute teacher and things, like, because, like, well, I've told the whole story. Catch up, over 700 episodes, they're buried in there. But okay, quick summary. After like with promotional modeling, did it for 12 years, but my walking undiagnosed disability was getting worse because the doctors won't listen to me, calling me a liar, saying I was making it up and I wanted attention, all this other garbage. So then when I would go to companies and be applying for jobs, they're like, well, yeah, it's like, but the way you walk. And but then with my degrees, trying to go to job interviews, and jobs are like, oh, but you walk like that. Is that permanent? Go get fixed. And even some saying I need to pray. And yeah, some of these Christian people at work, yeah. So anyway, I ended up starting to be a substitute teacher because I'm like, I want to move out of this house. I need to get away from, yeah, if you know about my relationship with my mother, it was awful, terrible, toxic, and dehumanizing and everything else. But yeah, I started substitute teaching, and I was at this one school one day, and then I ended up at another school for about 3 months, and it was great. Like, some of the students were great, some of them were I don't have anything nice to uh because like so many of the students that didn't like me did not like learning. Like when I would like, or they didn't like being creative, they didn't like because when I say, okay, no, I should say thinking, because I mean they would do their homework in math class, all like, because it only has one answer, you have to figure out one answer. But I'm English, I like being creative, and also with the nouns, and I like playing music because I feel like even there's studies that show like playing music in the background and sometimes the rhythms and things like that. And so like I would do that, and yeah, like some of them didn't like me. So, but anyway, like, and I get that. It's like no one, not everyone's gonna like me. I'm a creative. It's like one of my goals is like I would love to have a creative lounge one day. That's like that would be such an amazing goal and dream. But anyway, okay. So I ended up at the school because after the 3 months was done, they found a permanent teacher, and so then I went back to the K through 8 school, and they needed me for at first a week. But then they found out the teacher I was subbing for, no, he left, he quit, he bounced. So then they were like, okay, can you stay for another week? And then they were like, can you stay for another week? Next thing I know, it was 4 years, not as a sub. They hired me like I was full on, I think, for two years, I think. But anyway, I was there for 4 years as a okay sub for the first year, and then I worked for the school, but kind of as a paraprofessional for like 1 year, and then yeah. So, but either way, because like I know some people are gonna be like, hold up, why? Like, okay. Anyway, anyway. So I'm in the gym for parent teacher conference at the table. And another reason I say that, because previous like students that I've had, or parents who have other kids that were in my classroom, they would go to the principal and be like, "Oh, why is a sub, you know?" And like, "Oh, what grade?" Or and some parents are like, "Oh, I wanted her for my kid. Why isn't she teaching my?" Because yes, a lot of parents, or else there were some parents who liked how I taught so much that they would even ask and beg like the principal, can I switch grades? Can I like since I and well, I'll talk about that in a minute, like later, because I know this is a boys will be boys episode, and I'm already at like almost the 11 mark. But it all comes together after, like, especially with the next, yeah. But sitting there having fathers come up, then sometimes fathers would know that I'm not their kid's teacher. Sometimes these fathers would come up knowing I'm not their kid's teacher, but I've never met the parents before, so I don't know. Like, they would sit down, and I'm like, "Hi, hello, how are you? Like, which kid is yours?" And next thing I know, the fathers are hitting on me, and the fathers are handing me papers with their phone numbers and sometimes addresses, and some are even telling me to like text them first because their wife is in the gym, sometimes talking to one of the other child's teachers. And then I'm telling the guy to please stop, because for one, I don't want to have a situation. Two, I'm disgusted. Three, I don't want to embarrass a child, because especially with the city that I was working in, it's a city, but it's a small city. People find, oh, they gossip. So I didn't want to start anything or any drama. And also some of these moms, nah, they would fight. And I don't want their man. I don't want their man. Trust me, I don't want their man. But yeah, I've been in several uncomfortable situations. And so many of these fathers didn't even know, like after they were like, "Oh, well, which teacher is this?" And I'm like, "You don't even know your kid's teacher's name." And some of the dads were like, why do I need to care? It's like, as long as they move them up to the next grade, I don't care. Like, or as long as they take my child for the day, I don't care. And even teaching at the school, there was one specific father that's, I mean, okay, he made me nervous. I don't know about scared, like a little. There was two times where I was a little scared, because it was at the point whenever this father was in the building, the principal had to come to my classroom and lock me inside the classroom. And there was one of the times she was like, I was like, no, I need to go to the restroom. And she'd be like, okay, go, 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 really fast. He's here, he's here. And once she said he's here, I knew who she was talking about. So then, in pain, because remember, this is like one of the last years before my surgery. My legs are hurting so badly. I'm in so much pain. So I'm trying to make it to the restroom without mm. But anyways, get back to the classroom. She locks me in the door. Do you know how disgusting that is? Where a father will not leave me alone, to the point where the principal has to lock me inside the classroom. And I mean, there were times where I had students in my classroom, and she would lock the door, and she would tell the kids, if you're going to go out the classroom to go to the restroom, close it behind you. You're going to have to knock. And what some of the students like, I'm not being locked in no classroom. I'm not. No. And it's like, you don't understand. Because this father would not stop. He would not stop. He was kind of scary. And even with the kids' events, international nights, when he came to my table, I was so like, I mean, I'm like, we're in public, so he knew he couldn't be as obvious, but Oh yeah, and one time it was like one, like each table for international night, we would pick one of the kids to be like our representative and stuff. And he said like a pickup line to me that once you've grown up, you know what it means, but when you're a child, like, it was slightly disgusting, but when you're a kid, you don't know it is until, like, yeah. So, but I just remember, like, how dare you? And it was so, like, I even told her, I was like, oh hey, like, why don't you go check out that table over there? Because I didn't know he was gonna, like, he came up saying that comment. He didn't take a break. He didn't, like, not a second. It was just like bam, there's a comment. And so I had to let her go, like, oh, okay, yeah, check out the other table. Oh yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah. Oh, why don't you pass out some of the gummy bears to like some of the other guests? Oh, and look, there's the principal. Oh, and yeah, tell the principal to come over here too. Yeah, it's like she could swing by and check out our display. And so, and she did that, and that's one reason why he had to leave the table, because the principal kind of, like, I don't know if she threatened him. I just know she pulled him to the side, and I saw how her finger almost went up, but it did, like, it went like midway, where it was to the point where it's just like, don't make me yeah. And but it's really disgusting and pitiful, because this man has daughters. And I remember one of the times when he, like, I this is before having to lock me into the classroom. I was in the hall with, I think I was about to water the garden for my first graders, and he would not leave me alone. And I I was so nervous, and I was like, how about if a man ever treated your daughter like this? He got mad. Why would you say that? How are you? I was like, okay, well, okay, if you're so upset, whenever a woman says that to a man, shouldn't he be happy? Shouldn't he want a man one day, like once his daughter's a woman, when she starts dating, shouldn't that be a compliment? And I've said this in other episodes and stuff, because I've said this to a lot of men. I've learned, because he's not the first man I've said it to, but he's one of the first where it hit him hard. Like, even he still didn't care, because like I said, we still had to lock the door. Like, it was like he was more determined, you know. But this is what I did to, like, a lot of the men once they hurt me, especially if they had daughters. That's what I would do. I'm like, oh, well, and it's like, no, and I really don't hope this, but I like, and there were sometimes, even after I said it, I'd be like, God, please, I did not mean that. Please, I did not mean that. Karma, please don't do, please. And, but I would tell the guy, I hope one day your daughter meets someone just like you. And because I want to see how they react. Some men, they ignored me for months. They were so upset. Or they would say, how dare you? How dare I? Shouldn't that be a compliment? Okay, because if that's not a compliment, that's showing who you are. That is showing the nightmare of a person you are. You're showing how terrible you treat women. You're showing the traumas, how you traumatize women. You're showing how and why some women choose the bear over a man. You're showing how, yes, a bear is a threat, but a man is too. And the way this father treated me, uh, and the sad part is, like, he has sons and daughters, and the kids were embarrassed, and and it was really sad, because sometimes his kids would warn me that he was coming to that today, that day, or like, and like sometimes when they said it, it's like one time it was really sad that the child saw my face change, and they kind of gave me a slight hug and said, I'm sorry. And Like, well, that just means my daddy thinks you're so pretty. And some of the other fathers, and it's like, this didn't make it much better. Like, see, a lot of the fathers here think you're really pretty. And some of the fathers, they can't stand that you're smart. Mm. Do you know how many times I've heard that? How many men, especially black men, they say they don't want a smart woman? Do you know how degrading and sad that is? But then they get mad at me that I've never been married. They get mad at me that I don't have kids. They get mad at me that I've not been married. But then they blame me for it, and it's just, you don't want me to be smart, but I love learning. I love reading. I love watching documentaries. I love teaching. I love being creative. But then they blame me. It's like, and then they tell me who I am supposed to date. Do you know how many black men have told me who I'm supposed to, like, even late last year or early, no, it was early this year. Like, I was in a group, which now, yeah, the group kind of fell apart now, but I mean, like, there were two or three times where he was trying to tell me who I was supposed to date. Oh, you don't need a liberal. You don't need a left guy. You need like a Christian man. You need this type of man. I'm like, I'm not compatible. Oh no, see, but no, you are. It's like you're one of those good girls. You're a nice girl. Yeah, you need to date one. Like, no, no. It's like, I'm nice because once I've had enough, I leave. That's why, like, because some of these women are no longer nice because they've had enough, but they tolerated too much. They were too patient. And remember, I dated a guy addicted to special candy for 5 years. But by the grace of God and karma and the spirits and everything around, I think my me getting my second master's helped me with my patience. It helped me know that I'm filling my cup because he was emptying it. He wanted my attention and my time and my body, and just he just wanted. And I never wanted to date him. So even my presence, even with the title of girlfriend, I was giving. Because yeah, lock a key. If you didn't know yet, go back. There's so many episodes about that nightmare. But yeah, he was the one who was stealing from jobs, and like, I'm the one, like, once he was gone out the house, I'm the one bagging the stuff he stole to take back to the jobs that he stole from. He's the one that recorded himself cheating on me. And he was so dumb while he is under the influence, showing me, bragging to me about the recordings, showing me him in videos, literally having, you know what he was having on that phone. But anyway, the way he treated me. And it was hilarious once he, like, because I had freedom. I finally found a way to get away from him, to break up with him. But then he was so selfish. Like, when I say that he stole from me so many times, stole money and my time and my energy and efforts and things. And when he was trying to blackmail me back in order for me to get my money. But yeah, go back. I'll just say go back and listen. But then even with Mr. No Heart, he just wanted me again to pour into his glass. And my pain was getting worse. I had to have surgery, didn't go to the surgery. Before that, my mom passed away of cancer. It's like, me inviting him to the house so he can meet my family, my parents and things. He refused, but then he would gaslight me and make me feel terrible and tell me I had to meet his family. But then his family were like, a lot of them were no good, racist, stupid, idiotic, ignorant bigots. But I kept having to pour into their glass. But then if I was upset, or if I wanted to break up, or if I wanted to leave, or if I wanted better, they would make me feel bad. They would antagonize me and put me down and tell me it was my fault. But then when I broke up with them, they got mad at me, antagonized me, terrorized me, and or ended up telling his middle school sweetheart that it was my fault and I did, like, and then, like, oh my, I have the text messages too. I'm about to do it showing her name because I don't really care about, because once you call me the N word, once you call me like, and like the R word and so many different, like, yeah, once you go there, I don't care. I've got the receipts. I've got everything. Like, it's like if he tries to lie and say that he didn't do any of this stuff, oh yeah, I showed his his brother's girlfriend the videos. Not all, like, well, no, actually he showed, because yeah, go back to that episode. It was hilarious because at first he would tell everybody I'm lying when I'm like, he's cheating on me. And it's like, because he showed me a video and I was like, yeah, he's even showed me video, and they didn't believe me. So one day when he was up on that special candy, he was showing me videos on the couch in front of his grandfather too. Good thing that volume was low. So then I called her and like, oh yeah, come out here. Yeah, look at this. And oh, her face changed. Yeah. If she tries to call me a liar, I'm like, mm. And she was also like, she was the one that saw and witnessed the entire thing of him. Like, I was about to drive away, ready to never see him again. And he ran into the middle of the street while I'm trying to like drive away with the weapon to his wrist, threatening his life if I did not become his girlfriend. And then every day after that, for at least 90 days, telling me, if you're not my girlfriend, you know what I'm going to do to myself. Men get so mad when women choose the bear over them. They don't understand the trauma. And even back to it, like, oh, Mr. No Heart, that no good, idiotic, selfish, just asking him to call me sometimes and not call me just for me to jump and come and help you, rescue you, save you, like loan you money or give, like, he still owes me thousands of dollars too. But anyway, it's like, when he wanted my car, when he wanted my attention, when he wanted me to go to his family's house. I did not want to go to his family's house, but then you don't love me. You don't care about me. How are you going to do this? How are you, like, I invited him over to the house over 20 times. So many men only wanted me to pour into their glass. They only wanted me to service them, only wanted me to help them. But then these men are so stuck on patriarchy and being the leaders, but then they expect the woman to do anything and everything in order to make them happy. So many men are not capable of having a happy woman, but then they don't understand why they can't have a happy life. It's like they drained the woman of all of the energy, the spunk, the spirit, the bubbliness, the happiness that she had within her spirit. They had so many expectations from this woman to the point where they drained all of the happiness from them. But then oh, she's emotional. Oh, she can't do this. Oh, she's supposed to be feminine. She's supposed to be like, you drained the feminine out of some of us. It's like you for some of you just pissed us off. But I'm going to talk more about this in another episode. It's just so many men don't understand, or they want us to forget, or if we do forget, oh well, she forgot this time. She forgot, like, oh, I, like she said, men traumatized, and she's like, oh well, she should remember. Like, no, we want to be able to live our lives, and if that's on our minds all the time, it's gonna mess us up. We're gonna get even more mad. You don't want that, do you? You really don't want that, do you? Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.